Hello, I'm Tony.
I'm Lewis.
And this is
It's
Talking During the Movie.
It's the Talking During the Movie podcast with your hosts, Louis Gravance and Tony Whitten.
Ooh, I am excited about this week.
Yeah?
Yes.
Last
week was serious, and this week we get to have a little more fun.
I don't know, but I have a feeling that you're completely queer for this movie. If I were a betting man, I would say that this was a full-on, almost nosebleed enjoyment for you.
I would say I would pay out 2/3 of that.
Really? Only 2/3?
Yes. Don't get me wrong. I think this is a wonderful movie. I found it very entertaining. I had so much fun. I actually ran into a friend at the theater. We all sat together, and we had a lot of fun. But it's not. I'm not orgasmic over it.
I am.
You are?
I am.
You?
I am completely orgasmic.
We are both surprised here.
In fact, that's a good word for it, because let me tell you, how Ryan Reynolds can be the sexiest third-degree burn victim alive. I mean, I like when they were freaking out at the end. Normally I'd be going, oh, but I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I could see it, and when I saw the preview, I thought this could go either way. You know, this could be way too cheeky and precious for its
easily
own
screw
good,
this up.
you know?
Yeah.
And 30 seconds in the middle of the credits, I was...
Oh, the credits are brilliant. It sets the tone for you, like,
we're in
everyone
for
was
a
hooked.
Good ride.
Yes, that was exactly
put your
right.
feet up. It's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I think everyone breathes a sigh of relief, like, we're not sure where this is going, but just from the opening credits, you're like, yeah.
And the theater I was in, it was packed.
Full. We went to a full theater on Thursday, yeah.
And filled with a lot of 20 to 30-year-old comic geeks.
Right, a lot of nerds in there, you could tell.
A sea of them.
Yeah.
And they were sold freaking instantly. They were just giddy. They were giddy.
Everyone's was like, oh, good, they're going to do this right.
The long and the short of it is this, who cares? But he was a special ops guy, yada, 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 yada.
Right, the story's well known. It was even in a movie, Wolverine Origins.
It's not really that important. He goes through the experiment, and now all of a sudden he looks like a burn victim, but he's got amazing powers.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Done. Who cares?
Yeah.
But, people really hate on Ryan Reynolds, but he is a huge reason why this movie works.
This is probably the most fitting role he's ever been in, I think, that I've at least seen him in. Like, I hate to say born to play. I hate it when they say he was born to play role. But he fits this so well. Just the character and the attitude and...
See, your voice sounds like you enjoyed it more than you want to like.
I don't know if I'm as orgasmic as you are, but don't get me... I like this movie. I really, really like this movie.
I loved it. I think it's the first bona fide for this year, like, wow, well done.
I think it's going to be a huge hit.
Was the director's name Tom Miller? Is he?
I think so. Tim Miller. Tim Miller.
Tim Miller.
Not
a huge...
This was his first movie.
No, there's something not very distinguished, I think, on the resume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is like his first big feature film.
But,
yeah.
I mean, it's a beautifully directed motion picture. However,
but
don't take kids.
No, do not take the kids.
Not because of the violence, which there is plenty of.
Yeah, there's gore. Not just violence, but gore in this movie.
In a sort of sleek, sort of artsy kind of way.
I think it's mostly played for laughs. But still.
But I'm telling you, there are more dick jokes than a Porky's movie. There are more jokes about oral sex than you would get in a Cheech and Chong movie.
It gets dirty. It's dirty dialogue. But again, all played for laughs.
I mean, I didn't know what Ron Reynolds was going to pull out of his butt literally next. It was sort of like, I'm like, is this like Mary Poppins bag? What else are you going to pull in and out of that,
like,
Ryan?
From the opening credits, they come out literally guns a-blazing and they go for it. And I think that's what it needed. If they had watered this down at all, it wouldn't have worked.
I didn't know Jack.
We need to go for the dick jokes.
I didn't know Jack about the comic, though.
I knew enough to know that they could screw this up by not doing right by this character. He needed to be foul-mouthed. He needed to be awful. anti-hero, as the term is.
What's not to
And
go?
it needed to go balls deep, or else it was going to flop.
The fascinating thing is that Ryan Reynolds is
We'll fix it in post.
he's all these things at once. He's buff. He's butch. He's fey. Sometimes he acts so gay. You know what I mean?
But yet,
I know. I mean, it's
but he's handsome. But then he's ugly. He's charming.
he's
He's
omnisexual.
annoying.
Yes,
You know, he can pull off both of those things in this movie.
but he looks like he's having.
It looks like
time.
everyone's having a ball in this movie. Everyone is just having fun. And I think the audience is along for the ride. Like, yeah, let's have some fun too.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely don't bring the kids. I would say if we're going to take the ratings, like PG-13 is the next one, definitely 13 and under, no. 14 and up, I'd use your best parental discretion.
13, even if depending on what the level of the child is, but you're going to have things to explain.
Yeah, so...
Because it's not like you're just going to go over the head. It's enough that you
Yeah,
go,
so over
what
that...
do you mean, Jizz?
Use your best parental discretion.
Yeah, I
and,
mean...
You know, feel free to screw up your kids in your own way. But definitely do not bring the kids. And don't screw it up. If you bring in the kids to this and then you complain about the movie, they're not going to make another one.
That's right. So, well, you know what? I don't think it's going to matter now.
Probably not after this weekend.
Did you hear? It's good. Did you hear? It's going to be like...
What, Louis? Do go on.
The preliminary projections were were anywhere from $68 million.
Okay.
Okay, we're looking at 130.
Oh, good.
So I don't think it matters what Mothers of America.
Well, then they should have made their money
think-
back. I mean, they spent some money on this, but it's got the feel of a low budget. There's only so many characters. The world isn't very big. There's not that many.
And it's
sets,
beautifully brief. At the point
It's a simple story.
At the point
Like
where
a boom,
another
boom,
one of
boom,
these
that's
movies
it.
would go, okay, now we need to kick in for another 30-minute ride.
Right. Not very complicated.
It's a perfect arc.
Right.
You've had just enough. You'd maybe wouldn't mind even a couple minutes
They
more.
spend like 45 minutes on the opening, and then the rest of the movie is the rest of the story. It's a long opening. Well, they change it around, they go back and forth a little bit, but it takes a long time just to get that setup, and then it's a short sprint to the end. So it's not overly complicated, but I think that simplicity helps it a little bit.
It will be interesting to see the effect this has, because you know what's going to happen now is lots of people are going to try to imitate this flavor.
That's what I was saying at the time.
And I think it's going to be hard to do.
It's got that same kind of feel that not the movie itself, but the buzz it's creating, that Iron Man, the first Iron Man felt like.
Yeah, I agree.
It opened the door to make more superhero movies in that style.
Yes.
Where it wasn't either heavy-handed like Batman or more lighthearted like the old Superman Christopher Reeve movies. It opened it up to a new generation and opened the doors to these new characters. So I think this gives permission, like people will pay movie for a foul-mouthed, raunchy comic book movie.
I'll bet they didn't know. I'll bet they didn't know. I'll bet there were people going,
I think everyone was holding their breath back in the theater, going, "Please, please, please let this work."
oh my God, there's so many
Ryan
dick
was
jokes.
going, "Please let this
Oh my
work."
God, how are we going to explain?
So, and the students watching this going, "Oh dear God, what have we done?"
Oh, Ryan Reynolds
And-
has another sucker up his butt. No,
and
God, no.
It paid off, but yes, there's probably going to be a lot of imitators over the next 2 or 3 years at least. And if they come up with a sequel, which they almost certainly will,
No, they tease
they
it.
could easily screw that up. That's not too bad. Don't worry about it. But they could easily screw up the sequel to this movie the way there's a couple X-Men movies that were not done well.
You can say that again.
Right. But I'm sure there will be imitators. DC is going to be going through their log saying, who can we make a terrible, not terrible, but a raunchy, R-rated comic book hero movie? So that's what I'm afraid of, is that there's going to be a lot of people doing it wrong, because you can get this wrong.
I'm completely on board with
like
this.
horror comedy. You've got to hit it just right.
That's right.
For it to work, or else it's just a mess.
Or slapstick is the same way. It's like it takes a real cool hand now to pull that off.
It's
and
like
it not
watching
be-
improv. Either it's really good. When it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's just awful. Yeah, so there will be more to come. So
And one more gush.
we will be there.
One more gush.
One more gush.
Just one more gush. And that is that, as you pointed out, you had some knowledge coming in about this property.
Just a little bit. I've never read the comic books, but I know enough people that I was able to fill in some gaps.
Another delicate balance is taking something like that and pleasing the fanboys and their expectations, but yet making it accessible to anyone else.
Right.
The Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
I rest my case.
Right.
The movie beautiful movie made for the fanboys,
Right.
and now no one cares. I'm sorry, this going to sound harsh. No one cares to see that movie. No, I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody gives a damn about that movie. Do you?
About Watchmen?
The Watchmen.
Watchmen was really well done. I think it still stands. But here's the thing: The Watchmen didn't. That was an R-rated movie about comic characters as well, but it didn't open a door. It kind of let Zack Snyder. Here's what it did: it let Zack Snyder come in to screw up Superman. That's what it did.
Oh, stop it!
I'm not excited about the new movie.
You know, I think,
and I'm a Superman fan. Those of you out there know me.
I think
I'm a Superman
I
fan.
think you
I am
should
not excited
feel
about this new
lucky
movie.
that Ben Affleck is gonna bring his bona fides, his gravitas to this. I don't know why you can't get on board with
Daredevil. That's why.
This. Okay, all right. Green Lantern, Deadpool.
Yes, Ryan Reynolds.
So get
finally
off
starts
your
playing.
high horse.
Ryan Reynolds finally played the character he was supposed to. He was horribly miscast in Green Lantern. Well, the whole thing was just terrible. So, Ryan Reynolds, you are forgiven. Ben Affleck, no. And I don't think Batman's going to do it for you.
It's like holding a grudge against Jane Fonda for 45 years.
I'm
It's amazing how there's certain things that
Holding a
people
grudge, it's still
just
terrible.
can't let go.
It's terrible.
How do you know?
What? No, I'm saying Daredevil was. It still is.
But
that hasn't changed.
They're both so
But he's not Batman.
beautiful.
Give him some other superhero. I don't mind him being in a superhero movie. I don't mind him trying to make a comeback. Comeback is the wrong word. But
Why not
what
him as
difference does it
Batman?
make?
We suspended belief to watch Michael Keaton play Batman. Can we not give Ben Affleck just a freaking break?
I wasn't thrilled about
and
Michael
he's not
Keaton
going to
being
have the
Batman.
nipples on the thing or anything.
I wasn't thrilled about any of the Batman. Michael
the
Keaton or
hottest
Val
Batman
Kilmer
costume
or
ever. I don't
George
care.
Clooney.
Yeah, well, though, that's
I
different.
wasn't thrilled about them.
Oh, really?
None of them.
Really?
Michael Keaton was the wrong choice for Batman.
Oh, well, there you go. Really?
They managed to pull off a
The
nice
wrong
movie. I
choice.
like the first one, but he was the wrong choice.
Really?
For that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he shouldn't have been Batman.
Really? And how do you feel about the casting of Citizen Kane? Was that
Orson Welles. Who cast? Oh no, Orson Welles was fine in that.
We digress.
I really like Citizen Kane. I don't know about the best movie ever made, but really well done, especially for the time it came out. So we digress just a little bit,
Especially for the time.
just-
How condescending.
especially for the time. That was a groundbreaking movie. People hadn't really done that before. Anyway, so we gush. We love Deadpool. Go see it. Go see it in the theater. Leave the kids at home.
Go see it in the theater.
Leave the kids at home. Thank you. You'll have fun. You know, our next show, Oscars.
Oscar fever.
Oscar. You've got the Oscar fever.
I've seen.
I can feel the heat.
I've seen all of them but one, and the one that I haven't seen, I won't.
You're not going to see.
I will not.
I will do my best to
I'm not going to see it.
to cover that ground.
Sorry, I'm not going to watch you eat raw things, Leo. I've been on your train for a long time. But
Well-
I'm not doing it.
Well, vegans eat raw things. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. Anyway, thank you for watching this week. We'll see you next time at Talking During the Movie.
No, you're supposed to go. You're supposed to say your name again.
I say my name again?
Yeah, we always do.
We do? I'll have to
You
go back
say,
and watch it.
you say,
Well, all right. If I met.
you go.
Okay.
You go.
This has been Talking During the Movie.
No.
I'm Tony. Did I screw it up again?
Talking to the movies is the last thing.
Okay.
You say,
Well, thank you for
this
watching.
has been Tony.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. This has been Tony.
This has been Louie. Who cares now?
And we
We
are
are
Talking During the Movie. Happy?
No, really. You didn't. I'm going to let it go. But no.